Welcome to Quick Bite, your fast and friendly Florida insurance
Hello,
update.
hello, hello. This is Roshonda, agency owner of the Isom Insurance Group here in the Sunshine State of Florida, back again with another Quick Bite episode, your fast and informative insurance market update. Today is Monday, February 16th, 2026. And while most people are thinking about mattress sales and car dealership blowouts, we are talking about something a little more exciting. Florida legislative session at the midpoint. Now, I know that sounds like holiday energy. I know that does not sound like holiday energy, but if you own a home, drive a car, run a business, or pay property taxes in Florida, what is happening in Tallahassee right now directly affects your wallet. And we have officially crossed the midpoint of session. That means this is the moment where bills either gain serious traction or quietly start fading into the background. So today we're going to walk through where the major insurance and property related bills stand, has real momentum, what has stalled, and what this all means to you as a customer. Let's get into it. When session hits mid-February, something important shifts. Early session is about filing and press conferences. Mid session is about vote counts. Lawmakers start asking one key question: does this have the numbers? Because here is the reality: a bill can sound great, it can get headlines, it can trend online, but if it cannot survive committees and line up votes on the floor, it does not matter. So today we're not talking about ideas, we're talking about survival. First up let's start with the bill that has some of the loudest debate this session. The Litigation Investment Safeguards and Transparency Act, which is a very official way of saying who is funding lawsuits in Florida. This is a bill I really am interested in. This bill requires disclosure of third-party financing and lawsuits and prevents outside investors from controlling legal strategy. As of now, SB 1396 has moved. It was reported favorably by the judiciary on January 27th and was placed on the Senate calendar for a second reading on February the 4th. That is real movement. The House version, HB 1157, is still working its way through the Civil Justice and Claims Subcommittee. So, what does this mean for insurance? Insurance companies argue that outside lawsuits funding increases settlement pressures and inflates claim costs. Trial attorneys argue that funding helps everyday people fight big corporations. And somewhere in the middle is the customer who just wants premiums to stop climbing. If this passes, it could reduce litigation pressures over time. That would not drop rates overnight, but it could stabilize liability lines long term. This one is alive, very alive. Now let's talk about the bill that has homeowners' attention. HJR 209 proposes increasing the Homestead Exemption by $200,000 for non-school property taxes. In plain language, that means a major property tax break is if ultimately passes and then wins voter approval in November 2026. The House version has already advanced to the floor and is on the second reading calendar. That is significant. But remember, this is a constitutional amendment. Even if legislators pass it, voters still get the final say. Now, here's where things get interesting. Cities and counties are nervous. The estimated revenue impact is in the billions annually. Local governments argue that if you remove that much property tax revenue, something has to give. Parks, libraries, road maintenance, municipal services. Supporters argue that homeowners deserve relief after years of rising insurance premiums and housing costs. Politically, this has strong momentum. Voters like tax relief. This is not controversial. The real question is how local governments adjust if this moves forward. From an insurance standpoint, this does not change premiums directly, but it does affect total housing costs, which absolutely impacts affordability. That's the bill that I'm really watching to see what happens. That one is another interesting one. Now, here's a bill surprised some people with how smoothly it moved. HB 1399 passed the House February the 4th with a nearly unanimous vote of 106-3. This is what we call overwhelmingly bipartisan support. This bill requires insurers to prove that payments made to affiliate companies, meaning sister companies owned by same parent companies, are fair and reasonable. Why does that matter? Because critics have long argued that some carriers shift profits internally through affiliate payments, which can justify higher rate filings. This bill essentially says open the books. It is now headed to the Senate. If it passes fully, it increases regulatory oversight, and increased oversight often leads to pricing pressure. That does not guarantee rate decreases, but it increases accountability. Now let's talk about the technology bill, AI and claims handling. As you know, I'm strong. I believe this bill should pass. I like this bill. SB 202 and HB 527 requires that artificial intelligence cannot be the sole reason for denying or reducing a claim. A qualified human professional must review and sign off. This bill is active and moving through committees. And honestly, this one feels like common sense legislation. Technology can assist, it can speed up processing, it can flag anomalies. But when someone's roof is damaged or car is totaled, they want a human making the final call. This bill has bipartisan support and is likely to continue progressing. From a consumer standpoint, this reinforces transparency in the claim process. Now, here is where we see friction. The roof age bill would prevent insurers from refusing to issue or renew a policy solely based on roof age if the roof is under 15 years old. For older roofs, homeowners could bypass replacement if an inspection shows 5 or more years of remaining life. Sounds straightforward, right? Nothing is straightforward. Well, SB 808 was temporarily postponed by the Banking and Insurance Committee back in January. That tells us negotiations are happening. Insurers are concerned about risk exposure. Lawmakers are concerned about consumers being forced into premature roof replacements. Understandable. This one is not dead, but is clearly being reworked. When a bill gets postponed instead of voted down, that usually means compromise talks are happening behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about the bill that keeps trying to happen every year. The repeal of Florida's no-fault auto system. SB 522 would eliminate PIP and replace it with mandatory bodily injury coverage. Right now, this bill is stalled. It has been introduced, it has been referred to committee, but it has not gained real momentum. There is disagreement over medical payments coverage requirements and how to avoid premium shock. If this does not move, it may follow the pattern of previous sessions where it simply runs out of time. For drivers, this means status quo likely remains for now. Here is one that gained serious traction. SB 1028 passed the policy committee on February 12th with 18-0 vote. That is unanimous committee vote. This bill focuses on ensure accountability measures and compliance oversight. When you see that kind of margin, it suggests that the bill is positioned for full Senate vote soon. Again, this is about tightening oversight and ensuring market discipline. This is more technical, but important for commercial markets. Protected sale captives allow companies to self-insure in structured ways. SB 990 has been reported favorably by banking and insurance and is now in appropriations. This affects corporate risk management and alternative insurance structures. For everyday consumers, this is less visible, but for businesses, it matters. Yes, pet insurance has entered the legislative spotlight. SB 158 cleared banking and insurance is now in appropriations. This bill focuses on consumer protections and transparency in pet insurance policies. And if you've ever tried to read a pet insurance contract, you know clarity is welcomed. One bill that is officially off the table this session is HB 459, related to disputed claims procedures. It has been withdrawn. Sometimes silence speaks louder than debate. At the midpoint of session, here is the pattern we see. Bills focused on transparency and accountability are moving quickly. Bills that dramatically restructure systems like PIP repeal are struggling. Tax relief proposals have political movement but face practical resistance. And roof-related reforms are being negotiated carefully. This is what a stabilization phase looks like. It is not chaos. It is not crisis. It is lawmakers refining the edges of reform rather than blowing up entire systems. If today's President's Quick Bite helped you understand where Florida's insurance legislation stands at mid-season, or mid-session, I should say, now's a great time to stay informed and proactive. If you would like to review your current coverage or request a quote, you can visit our website at www.isominsurancegroup.com, which again is right below me in this video. Legislation moves slowly until it doesn't, and preparation always beats reaction. If you found this quick bite helpful, please like this video, share with someone you know, and drop a comment below with any topics you'd like for me to cover in future episodes. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe so you know when a new video drops. And remember, Quick Bites drop Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. This video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, tax, or specific insurance advice. Please consult a licensed insurance professional about your unique situation. This is Roshonda with the Isom Insurance Group here in sunny Florida. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Please stay safe out there. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at isominsurancegroup.com.